With the last few reviews like Secret Invasion, The Witcher, I thought July was ending on a bit of a downer note considering it had begun so strong and I was having a pretty good time talking about some stuff. Well, I am pleased to report that that's no longer the case. Let's begin. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, I think, is the first TMNT movie in about 7 years. I think the last one was Out of the Shadows, the second live action one, which was under Michael Bay's production. In this one, we follow the Turtles from an origin story point, and we see how they have become the heroes that we know them to be. But it also serves as an origin story for every other iconic character that we know, and it acts as a bit of an entry point for both the characters in the movie, as well as new fans who may want to see it. I was actually excited for this movie. I saw the teaser only, and it looked visually amazing. The animation looked incredible, and so naturally I was very excited. I had this on my radar, and I couldn't wait to get to a screening of it, and I did today. And I have to say, I'm gonna cut to the chase here, I love this movie. I have some minor quibbles with it, and I will address those accordingly as well, but I had such a great time with this, and it actually is now my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I love the franchise. I love these characters. If you were to ask me on a normal day, which is the turtle that I, sort of associate with, I'd probably say it's Michelangelo. I've always just seen myself as a Michelangelo type, and I continued to see myself as a Michelangelo type after seeing the movie. I'll leave that judgment to you guys with some sprinkles of Leonardo here and there. But frankly speaking, I've grown up with these characters, and I couldn't wait to see another adaptation with them, and I've loved seeing them in pretty much everything. Even the live action movies that may not have worked for everybody, like the ones that happened a few years ago with Megan Fox as April O'Neil, I enjoyed aspects of them, and moments where it really captured the turtles, I thought they were really great. Like that elevator scene into the 2014 movie. I thought that was such a great moment of them, and it had some more of that in Out of the Shadows. But the original movie, Secret of the Ooze, those are great. Like, they're actually pretty fun movies in their own regard as well. And this is the film that I think does it best. I love how they were captured. I love also the fact that they brought actual teenagers to do this, not like well-known actors who are teenagers. Like, these are kids, and they absolutely sound like kids. They are teenagers, and they portrayed the turtles so well in this. They were wonderfully realized, and all of the other characters who come along their way, like April, Splinter, Bebop, Rocksteady, Baxter Stockman, all of them are so well done, and this movie is really gorgeously animated. Of course it is. The trailer sold you on that, and it delivers. The action sequences are beautifully done. This is a great time for animated movies, and once again, we are seeing a really great art form here. It's so uniquely done. It's not like Spider-Verse. Some people are gonna make that comparison because it's just the inevitable thing right now. Everything that's being new is getting in that style. But it's not a Spider-Verse style at all. It's trying its own thing, it's doing its own thing very much so, and I think it does that thing in a very good way. And it's just another credit to the fact that animation is this incredible form of cinema, and we should really be loving that more and more every time. It also has a really great score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who are among the best composers that we have today. They do a great job once again. Absolutely no faults over there. And also one very important thing, which is the comedy works, for the most part. I would say some jokes were not quite as effective, but I was laughing pretty much throughout the entire movie. I was having a pretty good time with it. And I just genuinely was enjoying watching it with a pretty packed crowd as well. There were some kids in our theater who were just having a really good time, and some were commenting on certain things, which is really fun. It's also surprisingly hard when it comes to some humor, because it's a movie that's rated PG, but there's some adult stuff in there, which makes sense because you've got Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg doing some of the scripting, and you can tell when they've added in jokes that would have been a lot crazier in an R-rated setting, but it's PG over here, so it's a dialed down version of that, but it still is pretty hard. So, there is that to be taken from it. And, you do with that what you will. It's not something that'll upset the kids, though. Like, it's not like you can't take your, kids to see this movie. It's not sausage party humor. Obviously not. Like, that was rated R. This is more contained, as long as it keeps it to the fact that the turtles are realizing themselves, which we do take some time getting to major action sequences, which makes sense because the turtles are still becoming the turtles that we get to know them as eventually. And so they're a little inexperienced in the fights. There are times where they're caught up in a major scenario, and instead of just immediately whooping ass, they get a little, sidetracked. It's like, okay, making some mistakes, taking a few hits. And I really like the fact that the film managed to capture that as well as it did. It really felt like we went on a journey with them. The one thing that I will say is that the story beats are somewhat predictable. Like, if you've seen a coming of age story before, there are aspects of that layered throughout this movie, and it's not 1,000% completely original in that regard, but at the same time, that's a minor gripe that I had. Also, the villain stuff was okay, some of it. Like, there is a villain aspect of it which is awesome, which is the Superfly stuff, and I loved that. But then there's another part which I thought was okay, really. Like, it was something that I feel like is going to be, there much more as time goes on, is all I'll say about that for now. But we'll see. All in all, I loved Mutant Mayhem. I can't wait to see more of this universe. I really hope we get 10 more of these movies as and when the strikes, manage to resolve themselves and the writers and the artists get their due. I'm hoping that once that happens, more plans surface for more in this universe, and I cannot wait to see what else comes from it. I'm gonna give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem a 9 out of 10. I'm happy right now. As a TMNT fan, I'm really happy. I'm just excited for more people to check it out when it does release in theaters this coming week. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos very, very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I will see you guys at the movies.